Grace and peace, everybody. Good morning. You did not see the thumbnail. You did not see the title, so you don't know what we're going to be talking about. So very quickly, somehow or another, I got banned from doing content, live streams on YouTube. I don't know why. They don't give you any information. I tried to appeal it, so I don't know. And I also don't know how long. So I don't know if it's 24 hours, 7 days, whatever. I don't know. So needless to say, I'm going to be streaming probably primarily onto Twitter. I might be trying out my Substack as well. So go ahead and become a follower of my Substack and we'll figure out how it goes. Hopefully, I don't know. So all the questions that you have, I have 10 more of them. So it is what it is. But you didn't see the thumbnail. You didn't see the title. But you may have been hearing the story. Brigitte Macron has won her cyberbullying case in France. So let's bring this in. Let's go. Check it out. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
A court in Paris has found 10 people guilty of cyberbullying. France's First Lady, Brigitte Macron. Alistair Bunkle has the latest.
Claims particularly about her gender, making accusations that she was originally a man, perhaps even she was born with her brother's identity, and then she'd become a woman later in life, but also claims about allegations of paedophilia because of the big age gap between her and her husband, Emmanuel Macron, 24 years. And these claims have been going for many years, and according to Brigitte Macron's family, had caused deep upset to France's First Lady. So she took legal action against 10 defendants in particular, all 10 of them found guilty in a pretty short session here at court in Paris. They've been given various sentences ranging from a cyberbullying course to 8 months suspended sentence. The 10 defendants, 8 men, 2 women. We spoke to some of them as they left court. They say that this is an attack on the freedom of speech. Some of them had suggested that they were reposting these claims about Brigitte Macron as satire, but ultimately the court here found them guilty, and that will come as welcome news to Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron. Brigitte Macron has not ever attended the days of the trial here. She wasn't here today either. Her daughter did give evidence and say what distress it had caused her mother. And it is there are 2 cases going on. There's this one in France at the moment, and then there is another arguably bigger case that will take place in America against the right-wing podcast host, blogger Candace Owens, who's made very similar conspiracy theory claims against Brigitte Macron, to such an extent that actually we believe that Brigitte Macron's defense team, legal team, are going to present scientific evidence in that case in America when it comes to court to prove that she is in fact a woman. So the Macrons are taking on the trolls. They're taking on people who they believe are perpetuating falsehoods against Brigitte Macron. They have won here today in Paris. It'll be a very different case when it comes to America because of freedom of speech laws over there. But as far as the Macrons are concerned, they want this to send a message to anybody who is putting these false claims about online and to try and prevent cyberbullying whole scale across social media outlets.
All right. So I don't think that this case has a whole lot of bearing on the United States. However, I do think I think it has a chilling effect. I think it's going to have and given the fact that this week, I want to say it's Thursday, maybe Friday, we're supposed to get the judge's decision on dismissing the Macron case. Will this lead to why the judge doesn't dismiss it? Or will the judge just dismiss it and say, look, you won over there. You don't have to worry about it over here. You already been proven over here. I don't know. I think this is going to be pretty wild. Okay, here's the last one. There's another from France 24. They're talking about it as well. So I just want to bring this in very quickly. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. Let's go. I know that's too low already. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
Also here in France, a Paris court has found 10 people guilty of cyberbullying after they were accused of spreading false claims about French First Lady Brigitte Macron, propagating claims that she was born a man. For more on this story, we can cross live to that courthouse and speak with our reporter, Antonia Kerrigan, who's standing by. Antonia, tell us more about this verdict.
Well, the judge was absolutely unequivocal. As you say, all 10 individuals were found guilty and received suspended sentences, prison sentences of different durations ranging from 4 to 8 months. Those are, of course, sentences that they will not serve unless they commit a further offence. Some have also been handed down a 6-month suspension on using their social media accounts due to the perceived gravity of the content they were sharing. The other thing that was handed down across the board is the requirement to follow a training on awareness raising on online behaviour, including the prevention of digital crimes such as cyber harassment. Now, the judge said that the damages suffered by the First Lady, the recognisable degradation to her mental health had been proven, and as such, she has been awarded 10,000 euros in damages, which the various accused between them will have to pay out, as well as a fine they will have to pay of 600 euros each. Now, so the judge has made it unequivocally clear that he considers that she has suffered damages due to cyber harassment. The various accused, of course, have 10 days to appeal, and it is very likely that certainly several of them will do so.
And Antonia, these are false claims that have gained international traction, and it's not the only legal battle that the Macrons have launched. Tell us about that.
That's quite right. So there was already a guilty verdict against 2 individuals, one involved in today's case, one whose case has been separated in the cyber harassment trial. But 2 individuals were found guilty of defamation at the end of 2024. This verdict, however, was quashed at appeal in 2025. Now, that is because these false claims fall in a grey area between both freedom of expression on the one hand and an individual's right to be protected against defamation and harassment on the other hand. And now many of the defendants in this trial, of course, argued that their comments were a matter of information, that they have the right to share this kind of content, whether or not it may offend, and others also claimed, of course, that what they said was satire. The Macron couple are appealing the quashed judgment last year on defamation. They will be pleased, of course, about the verdict today. And, of course, the next major trial will be the lawsuit against American commentator Candace Owens, who has released a series of videos as well as a book entitled Becoming Brigitte, really propagating, building off some of the claims made by these French right-wing influencers, which have been widely publicised in France, bringing the Macron couple to bring legal action there too.
All right, Antonia Kerrigan, thank you very much for that update from the courthouse.
Okay, I didn't know how much bread they had collected. All right, real quick. There's just a little segment, a little snippet under here. A Paris court on Monday found 10 people guilty of the cyber harassment of the French First Lady Brigitte Macron for spreading false claims. She is a transgender woman who was born a man. The court convicted all defendants. That's wild, because one of the people in this case was one on appeal. She's what's her name? Amadie Roy, I think it is. She was sued by the Macrons. The Macrons won. They appealed it, and then they got it overturned. Now she's in here. This woman, man, if nothing else, they're going to bankrupt these people. Who has time to keep going back and forth to court like this? Cyberbullying awareness training to 10-month suspended prison sentence. Details from the courthouse. I don't think they're going to try to go back. This is me. I think these people should they're not going to go to jail. They've already spent and wasted all this money already on legal fees and such like that. and all they got to do is just stay out of trouble for 8 months. Unless you're somebody that stays in jail or whatnot, I probably would just go ahead and say, you know what, I lost, and leave it alone. But we're gonna see what happens. But Amity Roy is either, I think her name is Natasha Ray or Amity Roy. One of them is in this case again. That's gonna be wild. Anyway, man. All right, so they won. Does this play a role in the judge's decision here in the United States about Brigitte Macron and Candace Owens? I don't know. Does it have a chilling effect? Does it have a, oh man, we gotta get this right. The judge got it wrong over there, so we got to keep this case so we can get it right. You know what happens? Because truth be told, the Macrons actually have won more cases than they've lost on this regard. So, and the one that they lost, quote unquote, they lost on an appeal. Not really, it wasn't the main case. They got a run back, and they actually lost that, and they're running that one back too. This is wild, y'all. Let me know what you think about it. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's been supporting the channel. As I just said in the beginning, I'm not able to stream on YouTube this week, I guess. Hopefully it's just a 24-hour, I don't know. So I appreciate you all. All the questions you have, trust me, I got 25 more of them. So you don't even have to worry about that part. I got the questions. I just don't know anywhere to ask them. So I'm just going to be streaming to Twitter this week, as well as probably my Substack. I will be streaming Candace's show today. I'll be doing it here on Twitter. I won't be doing it on YouTube, but once I get done the video, I'll throw it up on YouTube. So thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I really appreciate y'all. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.